I killed my own reflection that night, not with a bullet, but with a virus I coded in the dark hours before dawn, watching it crawl through the servers like digital venom, erasing the face I'd worn for 15 years. The woman staring back from every screen across the empire I'd built wasn't me anymore. She was a thief in my skin, smiling that plastic boardroom grin while I rotted in her failing body. And as the alerts lit up like fireworks on the 4th of July, I whispered to the empty penthouse, "Welcome to the swap, bitch. Now feel what it's like to lose everything you stole." It started with a kiss. Or so she made it seem in the retellings, the glossy profiles in Forbes and the whispering halls of Silicon Alley. But kisses don't come with NDAs buried in fine print, or experimental neural implants slipped into champagne flutes at a gala overlooking the Hudson. I'm Serenity Hale. Or I was, until Dr. Elena Voss decided my unassuming ass in the corner cubicle was the perfect vessel for her ascension. Elena, the golden girl of Vostech, the queen bee with her Yale pedigree and venture capital darlings orbiting like hungry sharks. She ran the show, or so everyone thought, signing off on multimillion-dollar deals, glad-handing senators in D.C., her face plastered on every tech summit from Austin to Davos. Me? I was the ghost in the machine, the desk jockey as they called it in the break room, hunched over keyboards in our Jersey City headquarters, tweaking algorithms that kept the platform humming. VossConnect, our baby, a sprawling social finance hybrid where influencers peddled crypto scams and housewives traded meme stocks like baseball cards. I built it from the ground up, line by filthy line of code, back when Elena was still schmoozing her way out of community college debt. But here's the hook they never saw coming. I owned it. Not her. Not the board of blowhards in their Armani suits. Me. Controlling shares, funneled through a spiderweb of offshore shells and blind trusts I'd set up in my grandma's basement during the pandemic lockdowns. She taught me that Grandma Hale, chain-smoking Virginia Slims in her Queen's walk-up, drilling into me the art of the long con. Power ain't in the spotlight, baby girl. It's in the strings nobody sees. By the time VossConnect hit unicorn status, I'd siphoned enough equity to buy a small country, all while playing the loyal sidekick, fetching her dry lattes and debugging her crashes. Why? Because betrayal's a family heirloom in my line, and I was waiting for the right mark. Elena marked herself the night she found the ledger. I'd been sloppy, leaving a trace in the blockchain audit during a late-night bender, too much cheap bourbon chasing the ghosts of bad decisions. She cornered me in the server room, that predatory smile splitting her Botox-taut face. Serenity, darling, you've been a naughty girl. All those shares, tucked away like Easter eggs. Imagine what we could do together. Together. That's code for hand it over or watch your world burn. But Elena didn't build empires on threats alone. She innovated them. Vostech's dirty little secret wasn't the AI chatbots or the targeted ads that profiled your browser history down to your porn preferences. It was Project Echo, neural transference, a body swap cocktail of nanobots and quantum entanglement, cooked up in black-budget labs funded by DARPA rejects. Immortality for the 1%, she'd pitch in whispers, eyes gleaming like a televangelist. Swap your consciousness into a younger, healthier shell. Leave the old meat puppet to wither. Perfect for CEOs dodging indictments or oligarchs outrunning extradition. She chose me because I was invisible. No family to notice. No lovers to mourn. Just a string of Tinder ghosts and a cat named Schrödinger who wouldn't miss the rent checks. The gala was the setup. Crystal flutes at the Battery Park Marriott. Jazz quartet crooning Sinatra covers while venture vulture circled. She slipped the injector into my neck mid-toast. To innovation. And the world dissolved into static. I woke up gasping in her penthouse king bed, sheets silkier than sin, staring at manicured hands that weren't mine. Elena's hands. 42 years of Botox and spin classes. But underneath, the ticker was failing, arrhythmia from years of Adderall and ambition. A secret she'd buried deeper than my shares. My old body, meanwhile, was strutting through board meetings, signing proxies in my looping script, liquidating assets into her Cayman accounts. A panic hit like a subway derailment. I clawed for her phone, iPhone 15 Pro, fingerprint locked to these elegant digits, and scrolled the news feeds. Vosconnect stock up 3% on leadership stability. My face. My goddamn smile. Beaming from CNBC tickers. Elena Vos credits unsung hero Serenity Hale for back-end wizardry. The gall. I smashed the mirror with her Lalique face. Shards raining like confetti at a funeral. Blood, her blood, trickling warm down my knuckles. But rage is a poor counselor. I needed a plan. First, access. Her biometrics cracked the laptop, revealing Echo's schematics, reversible, but only with the master key, a biometric vault in the Jersey labs. Keyed to both of us. Or were us? Time was the enemy. Her heart was skipping beats like a bad remix. And without her meds, custom cocktail in a sub-zero fridge, I'd flatline in weeks. I played the part, slipping into her walk-in closet like a thief in Versailles. Pencil skirts. Louboutins that pinched like accusations. The driver, stoic ex-marine named Raoul, didn't blink when I barked orders in her clipped vineyard vowels. Jersey. Now. Traffic snarled on the Pulaski Skyway. Horns blaring like accusations. The skyline mocking me with its indifferent glitter. In the lab, white coats scattered like roaches. But I had the codes. Dr. Patel, Echo's lead egghead, froze mid-sip of his Red Bull. MS. Voss, you're. Early, I leaned in, channeling her Ice Queen vibe. Progress report. Raj. And don't fuck around with the pleasantries. He stammered through updates, Phase 3 trials on rats. Human analogs pending, but his eyes darted to the vault. That's when I saw it, the secondary protocol. A kill switch. Not just for reversal, but for erasure. One press, and the swapped mind dissolves like sugar in acid. She'd built in a failsafe for herself. Naturally. If I tried to swap back, she'd nuke me from the ether. Betrayal's bitter. But this was Shakespearean. Elena hadn't just stolen my body, she'd weaponized my loyalty. Flashback to 6 months prior, the SEC probe. Whispers of insider trading on Vosconnect's IPO. It was her, dumping shares on tip-offs from a DC fixer, but she'd pin the trades on ghost accounts tied to my login. You'll take the fall if it comes, she'd purred over after-work martinis at the Dead Rabbit. But it won't. Trust me. Serenity. We're family. Family. The word curdled now, as I pocketed the vault key fob, Patel's protests fading behind me. She'd framed me for her sins, then swapped to inherit my clean slate and my fortune. My heart, her heart, thudded erratic, a metronome counting down to 0. Back in the penthouse, I plotted under the guise of her empire. Emails flew, defer board votes, liquidate non-core assets. The vultures smell blood, calls from her VCX. Marcus Hale, no relation. Thank Christ, demanding explanations. Elena. What's this desk jockey nonsense? Hale's the engine. You're the face. I laughed, a hollow echo in her throat. If only he knew. Nights blurred into code binges, hacking back doors I'd left in Voskonek's core. My digital fingerprints, irrefutable. By week 2, her body was fraying, migraines like ice picks, vision blurring at the edges. I dosed the meds heavier, chasing lucidity, but dreams bled through, my old hands typing furious. Elena's voice in my head, mocking. You were nothing without me. The first strike was surgical. A whisper campaign, seated on Reddit's r/Wall Street Bets and 4chan's Bs. Voss Tech Insider, Elena Voss faked her creds. Built on stolen code. Screenshots of fabricated emails. My work twisted into her theft. Stock dipped 2%. Then 5%. She and my body lashed out on X. That godforsaken bird app. Lies from bitter ex-employees. We're stronger than ever. But I had the algorithm. I amplified the noise. Bots swarming like locusts. Her allies peeled away, sponsors pulling South by Southwest panels, partners ghosting Zooms. I watched from her Instagram stories, my old face flushed with that telltale freckle blush, posting yoga poses in the Hamptons I'd never afforded. Grateful for the journey. Boss babe. Controversy brewed. The kind that sells papers and tanks valuations. CNN ran a segment. Is Voskonek's queen a fraud? Pundits debated, feminist icon or grifter, while I sipped her single malt scotch, heart fluttering like a trapped bird. The decision nod, expose Echo fully, invite feds swarming the labs, or play dirtier. Dirtier one. I leaked the SEC docs, not the real ones, but doctored to paint her as the puppet master. Me the innocent cog. Arrest rumors swirled. Her lawyers, my old lawyers, demanded meetings I declined, via proxy. In her skin, she was unraveling, my body's resilience cracking under stress. Late-night calls to her therapist. Voice disguised in a Brooklyn drawl. It's like, I'm not me anymore. Week 4. The board summoned me. The conference room reeked of stale ambition. Mahogany table scarred from deal-closing fists. Suits eyed me, her, like a glitch in the Matrix. Elena. The shares. Hale's names all over the cap table. What the hell? I feigned outrage. Nails digging into palms. A clerical error. I'll handle it. But I didn't. That night, in the server farm's chill, I initiated the purge. Not data, people. Layoff emails automated. Hitting in waves, 40% of the staff. Cherry-picked to gut her loyalists. Chaos erupted. LinkedIn rants. TikTok exposés of toxic Elena. Voskonek's feed turned toxic. Users fleeing to TikTok clones. Ad revenue evaporating like morning fog off the East River. She struck back then, clever as a fox in a henhouse. My old email pinged, her accessing it from my apartment in Hoboken. The one with the leaky faucet and Schrodinger's judgmental stare. Serenity? If that's you in there, stop this. We can reverse it. Meet me at the lab. Midnight. Trap. Obviously. But the heart, her heart, seized. Vision tunneling black. I collapsed on her marble floor. Tasting copper. Raoul bursting in with paramedics in tow. Are at Mount Sinai. MS. Voss. Your arrhythmia, it's worsening. We need to stabilize. Stabilize. With what? Her custom brew. Now locked in a pharma vault she controlled. From my hospital bed, I watched the feeds, Voskonek crashing. shorts piling on like vultures. She'd escalated, dumping my shares in her hands now into a fire sale, crashing the stock 30% in after hours. Rage birthed genius. I flatlined once on the table, paddles jolting me back. But in that void, clarity. The kill switch, I'd reverse-engineered it during lab raids, embedding a Trojan in Echo's core. Not erasure, but inversion. Swap us back, but laced with a mimetic virus, memories bleeding, identities fracturing. I emailed her from the hospital VPN, her own signature, lab. Now. Or I pulled a plug on everything. She came, my body swaggering in scrubs stolen from God knows where. Eyes wild with my blue irises. Serenity. You bitch. This ends. The lab hummed like a hive. Fluorescent buzz underscoring our standoff. She lunged for the console. But I was faster, her body honed by Pilates hell. We grappled, consoles sparking, alarms wailing. You framed me, I snarled. Her voice a stranger's rasp. For your fuck-ups, the trades, the bribes. She laughed. My laugh, bitter as black coffee. No. Darling. I covered for you. Lie? Truth? The twist hit as the swap initiated. Nanobots swarming our bloodstreams like fire ants. Reversal flooded in waves, skin tightening, bones shifting, the world riding like a drunkard's compass. I gasped into my own lungs, freckles prickling back to life. But her eyes, in my face now, widened in horror. The ledger. It was yours. The insider trades. I found them, but I buried them. Swap to give you an out, take my body. My clean record. Run. Bullshit? No. Flashes. My bender. Not sloppy, desperate. I'd cooked the books to save Vosconnect from a bad bet, a crypto plunge that would have tanked us all. Elena knew. Covered. Then swapped to force me into her shoes, teach me the weight of the throne. Or control me forever. The mimetic hit, memories cascaded. Hers mine, mine hers. Betrayal inverted, she'd stolen to save. I'd stolen to survive. The console beeped, purge complete. Vosconnect servers wiped. Shares vaporized into blockchain ash. SEC vans screamed up the drive as we staggered apart. Identities smeared like wet ink. Cops burst in. Cuffs clicking on wrists that felt wrong. Elena Voss. You're under arrest. But whose face? Mine? Hers? In the holding cell. Heart. My heart now, steady as Jersey asphalt. I smiled at the mirror. Investor surprise. The desk jockey ran the site. Held the shares. But the real shock? Maybe she was the hero, and I the villain. Or maybe we both burned for the same sin, ambition without mercy. The trial's pending, appeals stacking like poker chips. Justice? In America, it's whatever the jury buys. And me? I'm debating whether to fight or fold. After all, in the swap, we both lost. The fluorescent lights in Rikers buzzed like a swarm of pissed-off hornets, casting long shadows that danced across the cinderblock walls like accusations I couldn't outrun. It had been 3 weeks since the swap back, since Elena's my body hit the floor in a heap of twitching limbs, the mimetic virus chewing through her synapses like termites in a Hamptons beach house. Paramedics hauled her out on a stretcher, sirens wailing into the Jersey night, while feds slapped bracelets on me, reading rights that blurred in the adrenaline haze. Serenity hail. You have the right to remain silent. Silent? I'd been screaming inside since the gala. A banshee in borrowed skin.
Now.
Free but fractured. I paced my retained lawyer's office in Midtown, the skyline mocking me through rain-lashed windows. Freedom's a joke when your reflection's a stranger. Memories tangled like Christmas lights in the attic. Call it the afterburn. The inversion didn't just swap us, it grafted pieces, her phobias, my grudges, into a Frankenstein mind. I'd wake at 3 a.m. in my Hoboken walk-up, Schrodinger's claws on my chest, convinced I was her, that the penthouse was mine by divine right. Therapy?
Please. Dr. Klein.
Her shrink, now billing my depleted accounts, droned about integration trauma over Zoom from his vineyard retreat. Serenity. The echo residue, it's like PTSD on steroids. You need to forgive.
Forgive.
The word tasted like battery acid. Elena was vegetative in Bellevue, hooked to machines beeping her regrets in Morse code. But the board, the VCs, they'd scattered like roaches at dawn. Voskonek's carcass picked clean in bankruptcy court. My shares, poof, vaporized in the purge I'd coded myself. Poetic justice. Or self-sabotage. The debate raged in Reddit threads. Voss swap. Conspiracy, nuts claiming CIA wetwork. Feminists decrying catfight capitalism. But revenge isn't a one and done. It's a slow roast. And mine was just hitting simmer. The feds had their hooks in wire fraud, securities violations, conspiracy to commit. Whatever stuck. Elena's Fall Guy routine had flipped. Now I was the face on the wanted posters. My freckled mug photoshopped next to her Botox mask. The desk jockey duo, headlines sneered in the Post. That rag loving its tabloid tango. I needed an out. Or an in. Enter Marcus Hale, distant cousin by marriage, closer by greed, the VC who'd bankrolled Vosteka's seed round with daddy's oil money. He called from his Gulf Stream over the Atlantic, voice oily as Texas crude. Serenity. Darlin'. Heard about your predicament. Elena always said you were the brains. Let's talk leverage. Leverage. The word hung like smoke in a dive bar. We met at his club, the Union League on East 37th. All leather-bound books and portraits of dead white men who'd invented meritocracy. Marcus, silver fox in a Brooks Brothers blazer, swirled his Macallan neat, eyes appraising me like livestock at auction. The purge was brilliant, I'll give you that. Wiped the slate, but left crumbs. SSC sniffing, but I can make 'em sneeze elsewhere. For a price, 20% of whatever phoenix rose from Voskonek's ashes. I countered with 10, plus a board seat, hers, vacated by coma. He laughed. That big money guffaw echoing off the oak panels. Feisty. Like Elena, but with balls.
Deal.
Handshakes sealed it. His palm clammy, with secrets. Walking out into the drizzle, I felt the first real spark since the lab. Power. Mine again. But twisted with her echoes, ambition's whisper, urging me to burn it all. Rebuilding started small. A guerrilla op in coffee shops and co-working spaces in Bushwick. I recruited ghosts from the layoffs, coders I'd mentored in late-night Slack chats. Sysadmins bitter as yesterday's brew. New venture. I pitched over IPAs at other half-brewery. Echo-proof. Blockchain backbone. No central choke point. They bought in. Eyes lighting at the equity splits. PhoenixNet. We called it Social Finance 2.0. But decentralized. Users owning their data like squatters in a gentrifying Brooklyn. I coded the core myself. Fingers flying over a secondhand MacBook. Schrödinger curled on the keyboard like a furry muse. Nights bled into days. Fueled by Adderall, Elena's ghost craved. Heart racing, but mine now. Steady as a drumline at a giant's tailgate. Controversy stalked like a bad ex. Leaks hit the trades. Ex-boss jockey launches rival. Is it revenge porn for tech brothers? Wired ran a profile, painting me as the underdog avenger. But Axios dug dirt, my embezzlement history. The trades Elena claimed were mine. Protests brewed outside the old HQ. Pickets waving signs. Serenity stole our jobs. I addressed them from a fire escape, voice amplified by a bullhorn borrowed from a BLM rally. Voss bled us dry. Elena Voss, the real thief. Built on your backs. I'm giving it back, open source. Fair cuts. Lies laced with truth. The crowd split. Half cheering, half hurling half-eaten halal cart lamb. Viral. Though, Phoenix Rising trended, drawing seed money from crypto whales in Miami basements. Elena's shadow lengthened. Her family, WASP relics from Greenwich, sued for conservatorship, claiming I'd induced her coma. Court dates loomed, depositions where I'd stare at her hollow shell on life support, tubes snaking like accusations. MS. Hail. Did you intend harm? Her shark of a lawyer pressed. All Harvard drawl and cufflinks. I leaned in, channeling her poise. Harm? I gave her my life. She wanted the throne. Now she's queen of nothing. Jury nullification? Maybe. Public opinion swung. Podcasts dissected the swap ethics. Ethicists on Joe Rogan calling it the ultimate white-collar heist. I fanned the flames. Anonymous drops to TMZ. Elena's affair with the DC fixer. Tapes of pillow talk plotting the frame job. Scandal ripened. Her rep rotting faster than week-old sushi. The controversial call came at 2 a.m. Marcus's text lighting my phone. Board vote tomorrow. Pull the trigger? The trigger. Absorb Voskonek's IP in the bankruptcy fire sale. Swallow the corpse whole. Legal? Gray as a November sky. Moral? Fuck that. America runs on gray. It'd make Phoenix Net a monopoly overnight, crushing startups like roaches under Boothiel. I'd be the villain, the desk jockey turned despot. But power? Undeniable. I paced the apartment, rain pattering on fire escape like impatient fingers. Schrödinger judged from the windowsill, tail flicking. Elena's voice echoed. We're family. Family fights dirty. Dawn broke gray over the harbor as I hit send. Yes. The vote passed 7-3. Proxies greased with Marcus's checkbook. Voskonek's bones. Algorithms I'd birthed. Integrated into Phoenix Net by noon. Servers humming anew under my command. Stock whispers started. Beta invites flew to influencers. Valuations ballooning like Bitcoin in 21. But the backlash? Biblical. Regulators circled. FTC probes launching like heat-seeking missiles. Protests swelled. Now at my doorstep, Hoboken's Finnegan's Field turned tent city. Chants of Serenity Sucks, mingling with buskers strumming Dylan covers. That's when she woke. Elena. Not a twitch, a gasp on the monitors. Eyes fluttering open to nurses scrambling like our extras. Her first words, slurred on CNN. It was her. All her. The twist tightened like a noose. Press conference at Bellevue. Flanked by her kin. She wheeled out pale as printer paper. Serenity framed me. The swap, she forced it. For the shares. Gasps. Flashes popping like gunfire. My phone exploded. Marcus bailing. Coders ghosting. Trader Serenity trending worldwide. Truth inverted again? Or her dying gambit? I bolted to the city, weaving through gridlock and a stolen zip car. My heart, pounding like bass at a warehouse rave. Bellevue's lobby reeked of bleach and despair. Security parting like Red Sea for the consultant. Her room, dim. Beeping symphony. Her, Elena, propped on pillows. Ivy's dripping mercy. Our eyes met. Mirrors cracking. You bitch, she croaked.
My old rasp.
I saved you.
Saved?
The mimetic bleed hit. Flashes of her burying my trades. Not to control, to protect. You were spiraling.
Sare.
The booze. The code benders. I swapped to pull you out. Make you see the cost.
Lie?
Her eyes, soft now,
Said no.
rage warred with.
What?
Gratitude? I gripped the bedrail. Knuckles white. Then why the frame? The purge. She smiled. Weary.
To force your hand.
Burn it down. Rebuild clean.
But you.
You kept the fire. The room spun. Nurses hovered. Choice. End her. Unplug the illusion.
Or.
Join? Controversial as hell. Forgive the thief who stole to teach. I walked out into the storm. Decision deferred. Phoenix Net launched at midnight. Servers roaring to life. Users flooded in. Valuations soaring. But Elena's words festered. A hook in my gut. Revenge's endgame? Pyrrhic. Always. The debate rages in my head. In the courts. In dive bars from here to LA. Hero or heel. As sirens wail distant. I code on. Schrödinger purring approval. In America. Winners write the truth, and I'm still typing. The launch party for Phoenix Net was a fever dream straight out of a Scorsese script, loft in Soho. Exposed brick dripping with irony. Bass thumping from subwoofers that rattled the artisanal cocktails like earthquakes in hipster Valhalla. Influencers in thrift store Chanel clinked glasses. Live streaming to feeds bloated with FOMO. While venture scouts lurked in corners. Apps open for quick-draw term sheets. I stood at the bar, nursing a Negroni that burned less than Elena's confession. My reflection in the mirrored backsplash a fractured mosaic, freckles mine. But crow's feet borrowed from her endless boardroom squints. Serenity hail. The Phoenix herself, a podcaster gushed. Mic thrust like a bayonet. From swap survivor to startup slayer, spill the tea.
Tea?
I'd brewed poison ivy. Just code and karma, I quipped, flashing the grin that had gone viral post-Bellevue. Inside. The mimetic churned, her memories of Yale mixers clashing with my Queen's Stoop symphonies. A cognitive civil war. Success hit like a freight train on meth. Phoenix Net's user base ballooned to 50 million in a week. I'll go trading meme coins while dishing dirt on Wall Street via gamified leaks. Empower the little guy, my tagline purred. But the fine print? I controlled the choke points. Backdoors wider than the Lincoln Tunnel. Marcus was back, sniffing around for his cut. Emails laced with veiled threats. Don't forget our deal.
Cousin.
Or, the IRS gets a peek at those shells. Shells, Grandma's legacy. Now my noose.
Nights.
I'd prowl the loft's fire escape. City lights blurring through vodka tears. Schrödinger's ghost, wait.
No.
He'd bolted during a blackout. Feral as my regrets. Elena's voice haunted. Rebuild clean.
Clean?
This was scorched earth with a side of caviar. The feds escalated. Dawn raid on the Hoboken crash pad, SWAT in tack gear. Barking hands up like a bad cop show. I complied. Zip-tied on linoleum sticky with last night's ramen. Laptop seized like contraband porn. Interrogation at 26 Fed Plaza. Fluorescent hell. Coffee like motor oil. Agent Ruiz, stocky. Mustache like a 70s porn statch, leaning in with that good cop squint. Hail. We got you on the trades. Elena Voss corroborates, says you masterminded the swap. Corroborates. The word slithered. Her betrayal's encore. She's lying. I spat. Wrists chafing. Check the logs, echoes her baby. He slid photos across. Elena in PT. Relearning to walk. Her eyes, my old blues, hard as flint. She's walking,
Talking.
and pointing fingers. Your move. Bail came courtesy of a crypto baron I'd greenlit for beta access. $2 mil wired faster than a stimulus check. Out in 48, I hit the streets feral. Subway to Midtown. Paranoia prickling like bedbugs in a flop. Elena's lawsuit dropped same day. Defamation. Theft of IP. Psychological torture. Front page of the Times. Tech twins war. Who wore the body best? Pundits picked sides, CNBC crowning me the scrappy survivor. Fox calling it woke witchcraft. Protests morphed. Free Elena camps outside my investor meets. Pink pussy hats swapped for Vostek tees. I countered with a TEDx talk in Brooklyn. Stage lights hot as judgment. Voice steady. The swap taught me, power corrupts when hoarded. Phoenix Net democratizes it. Applause thundered. But whispers followed. Bullshit. She's Voss 2.0. The deep cut came from within. Raj Patel. Echoes ghost. Defected, leaked schematics to Wired. Painting Phoenix Net as Echo's bastard child. Neural hooks in the algo to profile users' desires. Desire? Try control. Overnight. Downloads tanked 20%. Apple yanked from the App Store. Citing privacy concerns. Marcus called from Aspen. You're sinking.
Sare.
Cut me in deeper. Or I testify.
Testify.
The snake. I traced his calls. Burner to a fixer in D.C. Same as Elena's old flame. Betrayal's fractal. Repeating in ugly patterns. Controversy peaked at the UN Plaza Gala, Tech for Good schmooze fest. Nobel wannabes rubbing elbows with Bezos clones. I showed in a thrift rack and ruin suit, badge clipped like armor. Elena was there, wheeled by her brother, gaunt but gleaming in a Chanel sheath. Smile a scalpel. Serenity, she cooed. Voice rehabbed to silk. Missed you. The room hushed. Flashes popping like flashbangs. I froze. Mimetic surge, her terror of crowds clashing with my bar brawl bravado. Save the Oscar.
Él.
We both know the script. Whispers rippled, scandal's oxygen. She leaned in, breath minty with malice. The truth? You coded the kill switch first. To off me after the shares transfer.
Lie?
Flash, my late-night paranoia. Yes. A draft buried in Git commits. But executed?
No.
The gala dissolved into chaos, her mic drop. She tried to murder me. Security swarmed. Elbows flying. My exit a blur of tuxedo shoves and hurled champagne.
Outside.
Paparazzi hounds bayed. Lenses predatory. I bolted to a dive on 2nd Avenue. The Pony Bar. All sticky stools and jukebox Springsteen. Shots of Jameson burned the lies down. But the seed sprouted, doubt. Had I? In the swap's fog. Who pulled the trigger? Dawn found me hacking Marcus's accounts, offshore strained to a Cayman sinkhole. His empire's plumbing clogged. Revenge light, but it bought time. PhoenixNet clawed back. Rebranded LibraLink, open source facade masking my strings. Users returned, hooked on the dopamine drip of empowered trades. Valuations hit $500 mil. Acquisition whispers from big tech, Google drooling, Meta lurking. But Elena's shadow loomed, deposition scheduled. Her testimony a guillotine. I prepped in a WeWork war room. Lawyers chain-smoking vapes. Piecing alibis from server ghosts. Plausible deniability. Lead counsel droned. A ferret in pinstripes.
Deny?
I'd lived it. The twist uncoiled in a rain-soaked park bench confab with Raj, neutral ground. Tompkins Square. Bums nodding off on benches like sentinels. She lied. Boss, he muttered, hoodies shadowing his guilt. The schematics? I faked 'em. To cover my ass, embezzling grants for Echo. Embezzling. Echo of my sins. Why tell me now? He shrugged, eyes darting.
Guilt. And.
Elena knew. That's why the swap, to expose us both. Force a reset. Reset. Her word. Now his gospel. The mimetic laughed. We'd all stolen. All framed. A daisy chain of deceit. Decision loomed. Controversial as a back-alley abortion. Testify truth. Tank everything. Or double down. Become the monster? I chose the gray. Always the gray. Leaked Raja's ledgers anonymously. Feds pivoting to him mid-depot. Elena's case crumbled. Her brother folding like cheap lawn chair. Victory? Hollow as a Halloween pumpkin. PhoenixNet soared. But sleep fled. Nightmares of swaps eternal. Bodies piling like cordwood. Marcus struck last. A car accident on the BQE. Brakes failed. My zip car crumpling against a guardrail. Horns blared. World tilting. Then black. Woke in Lenox Hill. Ribs cracked. Elena at bedside.
Hand cool on mine.
We end this, she whispered. End? Or begin the real revenge, together? The debate eternal. As monitors beeped our fragile truce. America loves a comeback. Question is, whose? Recovery's a bitch in the land of the free, where health insurance fights harder than the patient, and painkillers come with a side of moral lectures from RNs fresh out of nursing school. I spent a week in that Lenox Hill bed. Morphine dreams weaving Elena's face into mine. Swaps looping like a cursed gif, her terror of failure morphing into my queen's grit. A hybrid horror show. Tubes snaked my arms. Monitors chirping like canaries in a coal mine. While outside, the city pulsed indifferent. Ambulances wailing anthems to chaos. Elena visited daily, slipping in past the shift change shuffle. Her wheelchair a throne on casters. Eyes, those stolen blues, soft with something perilously close to contrition. Marcus, she said on day 3. Voice a rasp from disuse. I cut him off after the gala. His fixers in cuffs, DC's cleaning house.
Cleaning.
As if ambition's stains ever faded. Discharge hit like a sucker punch. $87,000 bill. Half covered by a GoFundMe I'd neither asked for nor wanted. Strangers pitying the swap survivor with hashtags and half-mast flags of solidarity. Back in Hoboken, apartment reclaimed from landlord vultures, I rebuilt solo. Schrödinger returned like a prodigal, purring forgiveness over canned tuna. PhoenixNet, LibraLink now, ran autopilot. Coders loyal as dogs. Valuations cresting $1 billion on acquisition buzz. Google offered $800 mill. All cash. No strings but NDAs thick as Bibles. Take it, Elena urged over takeout Thai in my living room. Legs shaky from PT, but eyes sharp. Walk away clean.
Clean.
Her mantra. Now mine's curse. The trial was the real Coliseum, federal courthouse in Foley Square. Marble halls echoing with the ghosts of Gilded Age grifters. Elena testified first. Poise reclaimed, recounting the swap in measured tones. I initiated Project Echo to innovate, not invade.
Serenity.
She discovered the shares. Threatened exposure. Lies layered like phyllo. But the jury, blue-collar mix from the outer boroughs, ate it up, nodding at her vulnerable visionary vibe. My turn. The stand a scaffold. Ruiz's mustache twitching as he grilled. MS.
Hail.
The purge code, your fingerprints. Intent to destroy.
Destroy.
The word hung. Mimetic memories flooding. My drafts. Her executions. Our shared sins blurred to indistinction. Survival, I countered. Voice steady as subway rails. Elena framed me for her crimes, the trades,
The bribes.
the swap was her escape hatch. Cross-ex? Her lawyer pounced. Flashing emails, my loops. Time-stamped pre-gala. You planned the kill switch. MS.
Hail.
To erase her mind post-theft. The courtroom gasped. A collective inhale like wind before a nor'easter. Flash, yes. The code. Born of bourbon paranoia. But never run. Defensive, I shot back. She hacked my ledgers first. Stalemate. Truths twisting like vines on a chain-link fence. Jury deliberated 3 days. Thanksgiving turkey congealing in fridges across the city. Pundits betting odds on MSNBC like it was the Super Bowl. Verdict dropped Black Friday dawn. Hung jury. 8-4 my way. Mistrial declared. Cheers from supporters outside. Justice for Serenity banners waving like victory flags. But the split? Deadlock on intent. They who swapped whom, eternal debate fodder for law reviews and barroom brawls. Feds appealed. But momentum shifted. Elena dropped her suit same week. A joint presser in the village. Time to heal. Together. Together. The words stuck like gum on a hot sidewalk. Phoenix net sale closed in the new year. $1.20 bill wired to accounts I'd diversified post-purge grandma's shells. Ironclad now. I cashed out. Anonymous donor to Queens community colleges. Coding scholarships for girls like me. Stoop smart but system scarred. Elena? She shuddered Vostech remnants. Pivoted to ethical AI consultancy. TED Talks on consciousness equity, drawing crowds of repentant techies. We met monthly. Neutral turf, a diner in K-Town. Steaming bowls of pho cutting the winter chill. The twist, she said once, chopsticks poised, was us. Both villains, both saviors. Saviors? Debatable. Her heart, my old vessel, ticked steady now. Med simplified, mine raced only in dreams. Swaps fading to echoes. Controversy lingered. A low hum in the culture. Books pitched, the body brokers. Inside the Voss swap, Netflix circling for a true crime doc. Producers sniffing drama like blood in the water. I declined. Ghost wrote a memoir under pseudonym. Desk jockey's gambit. Sales spiking on whispers it was the real tea. Readers argued in reviews. Redemption arc or con artist's coda. Forums lit up. r/conspiracy claiming DARPA cover-up. r/feminism hailing our sisterhood sabotage. Me? I bought a cabin upstate. Adirondacks quiet broken only by loons and leaf blowers. Coding open source toys for fun. Schrodinger's successor, a tabby named Echo, curled by the fire. The final hook? A letter from Marcus. Forwarded from Rikers, life for racketeering. His empire crumbled like stale cornbread. You win, cousin. But ask yourself, was the desk jockey ever real? Or just the shadow of her queen? Shadow. The question gnawed. Evenings on the porch. Hudson Valley mist rolling like unanswered prayers. Elena visited once. Spring thaw. Her walk unaided. Bringing seed packets, wildflowers for the slope.
Plant them, she said.
Roots run deep.
We did.
Hands in dirt. Memories mingling without malice. Happy ending? Tragic? Depends on the lens. America's funhouse mirror. Distorting heroes to heels. Last dawn. I wake to birdsong. Code compiling on the laptop. Shares long liquidated but control? Eternal. The swap taught. Revenge is a mirror. Reflecting your own ugly truths. I choose the light or the shade. Debates open. Reader. What's your bet?